this guy?
We are presented by Freestyle Libre, the triumphant return of Dan Orlovsky on Mondays.
Triumphant.
We have missed you, big fella. I know, it's great to have you. And just in honor of Dan's return, we're going 25 minutes commercial-free right off the top. Throw the clicker away. You don't need it. Let's go. Late last night, Lions, Eagles in a huge showdown. This was supposed to be last year's NFC Championship. Injuries didn't allow that to happen. First Lions drive of the game. Jared Goff back to throw. Dan, we've got trouble.
We saw 5 of them last night. The batted ball from Philadelphia's defensive line, obviously something going into the game that they were conscious of. And then Cooper DeJean, it's kind of set the tempo for how dominant this Philadelphia Eagles defense was going to be last night.
Eagles turn that into a field goal, so they're up 3-0 early. Now it's 6-0 Eagles second quarter. Rex, you've been begging for Jameson Williams.
Yeah, and here's why. The most explosive player in the National Football League. Get him the football.
Maybe the celebration a bit much.
Maybe.
That's 15 yards tacked onto the extra point, and they miss it. So we're tied at 6-6. Minutes to go in the half on a second down. Where's A.J. Brown, Dan? There's A.J. Brown.
Yeah, good job one-on-one. He fades to the outside, slips underneath the corner. Good ball placement by Jalen Hurts. And then right before the half, we know how this ends. Tush push, down near the goal line, touchdown Philly.
13-6 Eagles as we go to the break. Third quarter, same score. The Lions, D. Wood, have the 2 game breakers. First, it was Jameson Williams, and here comes Gibbs.
Yeah, listen, good things happen when you put the ball in your best player's hands. We see the explosiveness out of Jahmyr Gibbs. Needed more of that in this game.
42 yards for Gibbs later in the Lions going for it, because they always do on a 4th and 5. Incomplete. Lions 0 for 5 on 4th down in this game. It was a huge storyline. 3 minutes left. Eagles up 10. Looking to put it away on the tush push, 4th and inches. But, Dan, this time the Lions say not going to let it happen.
We don't see this happen. This is rare to see the tush push in Philly stop. The Lions' defensive line was great in this moment. You see the underneath surge, then people over the top. They were great all game.
Lions kick a field goal, so it's 16-9. They need 1 stop in the ball back. We got just under 2 minutes. 3rd and 8 in this one-score game. Eagles, it's incomplete. Rex.
Great coverage. Absolutely great. Yeah. Absolute garbage here. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely atrocious. I mean, come on. Give the Lions a chance. Golly. That's great coverage. I don't care what they say. Great coverage.
Dan Campbell can't believe it. Lions not happy. Eagles escape. 16-9 the final. The big call at the end of the game, obviously a major storyline. Afterwards, referee Alex Kemp was made available to a pool reporter. No, not yet. Not yet. Let me read it first. Rex kind of jumped the gun. The official observed the receiver's arm getting grabbed and restricting him from going up to make the catch. So the ball was in the air. There was a grab at the arm, restricted him, and he called defensive pass interference. Rex just took the statement. What are we doing here?
I'm telling you, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, jokes aside, that is atrocious. Don't invent a freaking call. It never happened. You're lionized. Don't believe you're lionized. Everybody in the world knows that was terrific coverage. You cannot cover a guy better than this. Stop it. He doesn't do anything. And I thought Chris Collins was outstanding in this when he said, if you're going to call interference, it's offensive interference.
Yeah.
This is terrible. And you know what? The Lions probably wouldn't have scored. But you never know. You never know. It absolutely ends the game. Don't invent a darn penalty. It's a great game between 2 fantastic teams, and you're ruining it. Nobody comes to see your crappy call right here. They don't want to see it. Let guys play. You can't cover a guy any better than this. This is not a foul. It's never been a foul, and it shouldn't have been a foul here except some bozo the clown making this call. Own it. It don't just be, well, this is what I saw. You never saw crap because it never happened. And so, I mean, alibi and all this type of crap. Get rid of this clown. Put him in the junior high school where the hell he belongs.
So we didn't like the call. Lest it not be obvious, we were not fans of the call at the end of the game. And, Shefty, to your point, it ends what was a very interesting and important game.
Well, the Lions offense failed that team last night. The defense stepped up, but on offense, they did not convert a 4th down. Whereas the Eagles can rely on the tush push when they need a play, the Lions went 0 for 5 on 4th down. Didn't get it done. They barely converted on 3rd down. Here was a 4th down stop. Time and time again, they came up short. And so that pass interference call, that phantom call, horrendous call, but who knows what the Lions would have done on offense. It would have been nice to see if they gotten the ball back, one more chance, but it didn't happen. The offense last night didn't get it done.
Well, I think the thing that you take away is the Philadelphia Eagles have the best defense in football right now. If we're going to talk about the Rams and the Seahawks having the best defenses, and we will, the Eagles are very much so right there. And the takeaway is the Jalen Phillips addition has been absolutely a difference maker.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the difference between this team winning a back-to-back Super Bowl and not. Because you put Phillips and Carter together now, that's a problem. This Detroit offensive line got exposed last night versus this defense, and that's how you saw some of those fourth down stops. Like, this is the first one. Watch how the left side of this defense, the right side of the defense versus the left side, this twist stunt, that's 4th and 1. You're going to get a stop right at the line of scrimmage. Bang, hit right there. That plays over. This is a fake punt. I think this is Ojomo. Outstanding awareness of look at him get underneath the block on the fake punt. That's outstanding awareness. That's not Vic Fangio. That's Nick Sirianni's coaching. Man-to-man coverage. This team played sticky, strapped-up coverage, and what you saw was the pressure consistently impact Jared Goff. Jared Goff makes this throw 100 out of 100 times, except for last night. And then the one that kind of seals it, they drop Carter underneath Amon-Ra St. Brown. Really smart, Phillips underneath Amon-Ra St. Brown. Quinyon Mitchell's just sitting there waiting on it, knowing that the pressure is going to get home. If you watch the secondary, they understand they're going to get to the quarterback. They're waiting on the throw to come out of Goff's hands, and that's why you saw Jared just be so uncomfortable last night.
It was a weird game in this regard also. The propensity that Dan Campbell has for going for it on 4th down. I can give you an example. Cindy, A16. Last night, the Lions became the second team in the last 30 years to go 0 for 5 or worse on 4th down in a game. The other one was also a Lions game under Dan Campbell. Now, it was a windy night in Philly, so kicking was not optimal. But on the Lions' 5 4th downs, the average field position they had when going for it was the Eagles' 38-yard line. And all of the, expressions aside, the reality is, D. Wood, you were saying to me this morning, you have to have a feel for the game. You go into the game with a game plan. We think that our defense is going to struggle against the Eagles' offense. The way the game was going last night, do you think it was a mistake for Dan Campbell to go for all those 4th downs? I
do. And listen, I know that it's in Dan Campbell's DNA. He's always been the one, he's one of the foremost coaches in our league that wants to, press the gas and really go for it and be aggressive. But I also think in the course of a game, whether it's weather, just how your team is playing and all those type of things. And the Philadelphia Eagles offense, they're not doing anything offensively.
Right.
So, in my opinion, it would have been better off playing field position, winning the field position game and getting those field goals rather than continuously going for 4th down where you're taking away opportunities to score.
I'm 100% fine with him going for it as much as he did. 3 of them were at like the 40-yard line or so.
Right.
So you're not punting the football away, and you're certainly not kicking a field goal with that weather. Down in the red zone, I would much rather go for it on 4th and goal from the 3-yard line than kick and take 3 points. And if I don't get, my defense was playing so great. So I think Dan Campbell absolutely did the right thing going for these. If not for a play here or play there, a conversion that they blocked Phillips there, he's going to find that check down. This is who they are. This is also like strategy-wise, the way your defense is playing, this was the right decision. They just didn't get it done, and credit Philly.
Well, you mentioned strategy. I think going into the game, you probably had a vision of, you know what, guys, we're going to have to outscore this team. Why would you think that? 4 of your top 5 defensive backs did not play in this game.
For the Lions.
For the Lions. I don't think people realize that. They had all backups in there. And they did a tremendous job. And so, to me, I think going in, Dan Campbell probably already told his team, hey, look, guys, when in doubt, we're going for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know us, this is what we're going to do. I think every game is different, but you have a plan going into it, and certainly that was their plan going into this game.
Maybe it gets adjusted is the point when you see that it is a low-scoring game, when your defense is holding them and the wind is a factor in the game. Shefty.
And, Rex, you thought going into that game that the Lions defense would not be able to hold up because of all the people that they were missing. And the defense did hold up. And, by the way, every time it seems like this defense is down, men in the secondary, somehow they figure out a way to get it done. It's pretty impressive on the defense side. Again, it comes back to the offense.
I think Kelvin Shepard's done an outstanding job. The defensive coordinator, a rookie, first-time defensive coordinator, has done a tremendous job. In fact, much better than the previous, coaches out there. And to me, I was shocked because we said going in, I thought A.J. Brown was going to have a monster game. Yep. They certainly did target him the most times all season, 11 targets in this game.
7 catches, a total of 49 yards. The Eagles as a team only had 135 yards passing, 14 of 28 for Jalen Hurts, and yet they win the game. Afterwards, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts had this to say after the victory.
Accepting victory. And I think as soon as we got going, we shot ourselves in the foot. That's something that we can clean up. If somebody just beat us, then that's up to them. But it's some things that we are doing.
My main takeaways is we got to score points. We got to be more efficient. We got to take advantage of opportunities when they're there, and we got to control the things that we can control. It's the same MO it's been this whole entire time.
And so it is time for that part of the show we're obligated to do here on sports talk shows, where we pick apart a team that just won the Super Bowl and has the #1 seed in the NFC in their grasp. But the reality is you watch them play offense and you say, at some point, this has to catch up to them.
Sure.
It hasn't yet. They've beaten everybody good. I mean, the thing about the Eagles is they've beaten all the good teams they played on. Now they've beaten the Lions. They've beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten all the Rams, all the good teams. And yet we're going to pick it apart because I cannot believe at some point, Dan, this won't catch up to them.
With that defense, I don't know if it will, though. That defense is elite. Here's what I say about the offense. Got covered up last night. There's a lot of noise in the pass game for not getting a ton of separation and not winning a ton one-on-one versus a lot of backup players for Detroit. I think the second thing is the drops early on obviously stalled some early progress. And the third thing is their offensive line doesn't win consistently in the run game. And so this is going to have to get better. But there's not a lot of separation on these throws now when it comes to coverage. I'm not sitting here going to come on TV this morning and say Jalen Hurts didn't play well. There's not a lot of opportunity where you sit there and go, receivers open, Jalen Hurts missed. Receivers open, Jalen Hurts missed. And so this has got to, I would say, fall on the receiving core of Philadelphia, not creating separation last night. That's the main reason why the pass game struggled.
I think, if we're taking a 30,000-foot view of the NFC, think about where all the best defenses reside mostly.
Philadelphia,
Rams,
Seattle.
Seahawks. And so, yes, at some point, you're going up against some of these teams that have really good offenses. You would think those teams pack defenses as well. So down the road, it could catch up to the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they've beaten a lot of really good teams, but we know in the postseason is a different animal.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Dan, you talk about separation.
Not many open.
I totally agree. A.J. Brown, right? We all know he's an outstanding receiver. He's 135th in separation. Average of 1.8 yards separation on routes.
135th
in the NFL. All right? So, AJ, quit doing the press conference. Let's figure a way to get separation. Now, is that coaching? Is that playing? I don't know. But it just doesn't – why it looks so bad. 135th, and that obviously comes from Himbo. All right, so you can take it to the bank. But that thing, it drives me crazy. Right. So when you're sitting back, is it like, man, oh man, surely we got to be maybe a little more creative in the passing game. Yeah. But what are they going to do? They're going to find a way to win anyway.
Final word, Shefty.
That's the whole thing. It's a flawed team. The offense is struggling. We keep picking apart holes and issues with this team. They're the #1 seed. If the playoffs were to begin today, the Lions wouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. And on a huge Sunday with the best matchups of the season, as Rex pointed out this morning, we saw that the best defenses found a way to get it done. Philadelphia, the Rams, even Seattle was great and kept the team in the game with Sam Darnold throwing 4 picks.
How was Denver?
Defense is key. And Denver.
And Denver, he said, as we segue to that game. And if the playoffs were to start today, the Kansas City Chiefs wouldn't be in those either.